My name is Michael Jordan. I don't play basketball or build computers. I am a business analyst at TRICS Impact. We specialize in digital transformation projects and support our clients to produce better outcomes for people, places, and the world. Planets.
Hi, I'm Matt Hogburn. I am Principal Transport Planner for Kent County Council. I'm also one of the TRICS directors.
I'm Stephanie Rahman-Davies. I'm the Sustainable Travel Lead at Odyssey. We're based in Basingstoke and London and Romsey, and I'm looking forward to a day here for the TRICS user meeting.
I'm Michelle Edser. I'm the Transport Development Planning Manager at East Sussex County Council.
So my name's Stephen Shaw. I'm the County Highways Team Manager at West Sussex County Council and also TRICS Board Member for West Sussex County Council.
My name is Dr. Martin Rogers. I used to be head of department in Technological University Dublin. I worked as an academic for 30 years. I also authored a textbook called Highway Engineering, which is still in its 4th edition and sells, I think, more than any highway engineering book in the UK and Ireland. And I am now a retired academic, but I practice full-time, working for some of the leading consultancies in Dublin.
Hi, I'm Danny Calvert. I'm Head of Development Planning in Spatial Planning at TfL.
Hi, I'm Jolie Hill, Principal Technical Planner in Spatial Planning at
I mean, it's a nice venue. It's a really lovely sunny day in London today, so we've been quite lucky with the weather as well, which always makes it nice. This one's handy for sort of various train stations and really accessible and near the park. So yeah, it's a really nice,
lovely area, yeah.
really nice location.
I'm quite keen to hear more about artificial intelligence within transport planning and to see how digital transformation is supporting and improving the transport sector. I believe events like this help me to get a better overview in terms of what's going on in the transport sector and to understand what's being done to help improve places, support people and save our planet.
The main reason why is the shift obviously that transport planners are going about now. We're very much now going to a decide and provide world, and literally trying to plan developments as sustainable as possible from the outset. Very much changed from the predict and provide back in the day, and it's really encouraging that a lot of transport planners are now using the decide and provide, monitor and manage framework to make developments as sustainable as going forward. Obviously, that's very much in accordance with the UNPPF, which obviously promotes sustainable transport at its fore.
TRICS events are a really great opportunity, one for networking, and it's like what we've got about 140 people attending this year, but also just the speakers list. I think we've got a really good list of speakers, lots of interesting topics, so it's covering everything from sort of using how to use TRICS and best practice to sort of more emerging things like decide and provide approach, and also AI in transport industry. So they're really interesting topics, and I think it's a really good day to get that exposure and that sort of experience of things going on in the industry. And also it's free. Not many things are free nowadays, are they? So you can't get much training for free, so it's a really good thing.
So, well, TRICS is the main user standard database in transport planning, and we use it on pretty much every project. So we're always interested in any developments and changes to it.
I've been involved really with TRICS since I started my career in '98. So I've been to quite a lot of TRICS events over the years, big conferences and user group meetings. TRICS, yes, when I was working at Surrey, we were involved with TRICS as a board member, and also East Sussex are board members as well. So I've had a close involvement over a long time.
Oh, amazing. 98, I was born in 99.
I know,
so.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Well, you have a really, really good lineup of speakers, actually. So I'm looking forward to all of them. But in particular, I'd like to hear about the AI and how and when that can be useful in transport planning and how far away from that we are now. And I'm also interested in the servicing and deliveries and the construction traffic, because there's not a lot of
some interesting
research out there.
I think it's always a really nice mixture of kind of the technical know-how and nuts and bolts of using TRICS, and then the more sort of strategic and wider issues. So we've had a couple of more technical ones this morning that are really helpful, I think particularly to those that are using TRICS on a day-to-day basis. And then I'm also looking forward to some of the more sort of vision and new thinking, which will be talked about a bit more later on in the day as well. So I think it's helpful for people at all stages of their career.
It's a really good time to have the meeting because of the changes in policy, particularly on the NPPF side and vision-led planning, but also the conversation about AI and our guidance update. I think there are a lot of questions about kind of exactly where that's all going, and it's a great time, I think, to bring everyone together and talk about it, and a really exciting time to talk about how TRICS fits into all of that. So yeah, I think it was an excellent event, and really good range of attendees and presentations.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of that, and you sort of stole what I was going to say. But I think these events are always good because they spark so many different discussions of different topics that we all have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, but we don't get the chance to maybe challenge them or talk about them. We just have to get on with our day jobs, and actually this opens up a forum where we can discuss things and be open and honest with our discussions, think about where it's going in the future, what else we might want to look into in terms of surveying, monitoring, and where we're trying to go with it. Because at the moment I don't think we fully know or what the future looks like, but I guess it's a case of trialing different things at the moment. And I think, as I said in the panel discussion, we're sort of in this transitional period where there's so much change going on, or potential change going on, that we don't know exactly where it's going yet. But I think it's a very interesting time to see how things are going to pan out.
The information on AI is really important because it's definitely an area that we are going to be moving into with trip generation and in general with transport planning, traffic assessments, mobility management, all those areas. And I think an awful lot of that analysis involves the gathering of information, and I think AI can really help us in the gathering of that information. So I found that really useful.
The interesting variety of speakers and the topics which are covered by them relating to TRICS is a big draw for people from all types of TRICS user organisations, and there's been quite a lot of big developments this year so far in the vision-led planning approach to transport assessment. So I think again that's something that people wanted to learn more about, and our day-to-day definitely caters for that.
Decide and provide is way, by a far way, the greatest and the most the obvious way to go forward, rather than the predict and provide that we used to go through. But I think it's the useful thing about coming with the greatest respect, Ireland, is that we tend to be a little bit behind what goes on in the UK. So another useful aspect of coming here and hearing what's going on is that I know that is the policy areas that are at the moment live here will be live in Ireland.
So I'm a big fan of hackathons, and there is an event happening later on today where we're going to get our hands on the software. So I'm quite keen to work with peers and experiment with the tool and actually bring to life the concept of vision-led planning and experience the benefits in a simulated way.
Well, I think TRICS has been really one of the founding organisations in trying to promote active sustainable developments in site, obviously through the principle of multimodal surveys. And I think that's what TRICS does really well, that pretty much no other company out there is able to do. What I'd really like to see going forward, and I know obviously TRICS are doing it, is obviously looking at potential deliveries for new development sites. Obviously, since the COVID pandemic, a lot of delivery organisations have obviously seen a massive uptake in people buying parcels. And I know TRICS is obviously looking at that for some big, large apartment block sites. That I'd be really interested to see that being rolled out to general market housing sites to see how that potentially affects trip rates.
I think one of the next steps for TRICS is to see how we can have vision-led design and provide approach incorporated within the TRICS system. And I think some thought has to be done as to how we do that. And the next step is almost to have that module built in within TRICS, so people can effectively, we've got the multimodal surveys that are done. TRICS are really good at predicting the trip generation from a new development site. But I think we need to build more elements of design and provide specifically into the TRICS database. I think that's the obvious next step, really.
I think more of the servicing and delivery stuff for us as TfL is something that we're really keen to get more data on, because in car-free developments particularly, servicing and deliveries are a big unknown in terms of their trip generation, their impact, how they're designed for, how they're monitored, and with the likes of Deliveroo and Amazon, all those sort of big names of companies alongside the smaller ones, it's such a minefield of variance across London and across the country as well. So I think getting more data from that side of things is where I would like to see TRICS going forward.
Yeah, the construction work that Ian talked about today as well, I think is really useful. Another area where we're constantly having conversations about how many vehicles you're going to be expecting, and there are so many different ways of working it out. So something as a sort of sense check for that, and I think that came out of the meeting. What's the feedback from that was really good. I think also there's a conversation about, particularly get back to AI and TRICS and the vision of the project, how AI is going to influence how we do things. And that isn't something that you can immediately have a report on now, but over the next year, probably, that's going to be something that we want to think more and more about how that gets used.
The thing about it is that every update to the software improves the quality of what's provided, and I think the whole thing about TRICS is it has to keep moving forward, because otherwise it just stagnates and it loses relevance. So it's vital that it keeps moving forward, and it always has. And in terms of the research that has supported that, I've been involved to a very small extent in that. But I think I always look forward to an update, because it always improves the user experience.
Absolutely. The feature mentioned previously was the time series analysis, where we can see what happened historically and the changes that's happening today. I think that's going to be quite revolutionary, especially as we move towards more of a vision-led plan, so that we're actually able to see what's happening in terms of planning, policy changes, and actually see it presented in a time series analysis.
I was involved in obviously setting the new contract up for Smash Crab Studio, and I'm really, really excited about Smash Crab coming and working with TRICS on this project. I think they're a really good organisation, and they're going to be really fantastic for TRICS to work with. What I'd like to see first and foremost is the system being as user-friendly as possible. It's been really well received recently, but I think it is due an upgrade. Obviously, the TRICS 7 system is many, many years old.
Yep.
So it could do with a refresh, obviously, to make it more user-friendly. Gone are the days, obviously, when we used an offline system. Now everything is virtual on the web. Good things potentially to look forward to was maybe an app for TRICS. Obviously, apps have really taken off, obviously. A lot of people just use apps rather than the internet now. So looking at is a potential app that TRICS could use in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely benefit from that as well. So someone uses it every day.
Just the main issue could be the amount of data on a smartphone, mate.
That is true. Yeah.
And obviously how we handle that data, but definitely something worthwhile looking at, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it would really increase uptake of the usage of TRICS if we managed to get an app working successfully.
Yeah, I think it's a key thing for TRICS to do. We need to keep on updating and make sure the system's up to date, and a modern approach to it. So I think it's key, and it's a thing that we're keen to do, and have regular updates to make sure that TRICS stays as relevant and up to date as possible. The world is moving very fast in terms of developments, and we want to stay at the forefront of that and stay up to date and modern.
Definitely looking forward to it. I think as a team and myself, we're looking forward to having some easy and clearly referenced data sets, which can be used to make it easier to agree with the Highways Office, the trip generation, and also for the travel plan monitoring, which I use most often, to back it up, the trends, and also the monitoring surveys themselves, and the travel plan monitoring tool within TRICS.
Yeah, I'm really excited about TRICS 8 coming in March 2025. It's going to be have a much more modern feel to it than TRICS 7 has. TRICS 7 is now, or will be, 12 years old by the time it's replaced by TRICS 8. So things have moved along quite a lot in the IT world in that time. So we want to make sure that TRICS 8 is up to date with all of those developments. TRICS 8 has begun development. and we're on course for that stage 1 release in March. And soon we'll be beginning beta testing, probably early in the new year. So look out for more information regarding this on our social media channels if you're interested in getting involved with that. In terms of our next event, we are going to be hosting the 2025 Training and Development Forum in Winchester, and that will be on the 1st of July. We don't have a venue for that yet, but that will be revealed early next year.